There we go.
It's raining. As we say in Oregon, you ain't gonna melt. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for coming when it's your community thanks you, your District 2 thanks you, your country thanks you. That's what you're doing. You're standing up, you're showing up, and you're speaking out week after week after week. My name is Doug Warner. I'm on the steering committee of the ORD2 Indivisible, as probably most of you know. We've got at this point about 14 or 15 teams. We've got a 501c4. We've got a board of directors. We've got bylaws. We've got lawyers. We've got everything we can to sustain whatever we need to do going forward. Here's what we don't have. We don't have a vision of where we're going from here. We have piecemeal ideas, but we really don't have a vision. So one of the things, the theme for today needs to be, where do we go from here? We know that we can keep our focus every morning, doing our CTAs, making our phone calls to our members of Congress. We know that that's working. Those of you that do it every day, thank you so much. There's some of you that go on our group discussion and you go on and have all kinds of interesting opinions and everything else, but my heart goes out to the person that gets up every single day and makes those phone calls. It's the most important thing we do. We all have opinions, but guess what? That doesn't get a whole lot done. Those phone calls are getting stuff done, so thank you. You're the real warriors of this group. Showing up to these rallies helps too, I know, because when we talked to Walden, he was concerned about the people showing up outside his door. As a matter of fact, when he met with us months ago, it seemed like years ago, the reason he met with us is because you showed up outside his door the day before and he didn't like it. And he wanted it to stop. So it works. Keep showing up. Okay, so we've got some things I can tell you about that we know we're going to be doing, and then I want to hear from you ideas, so be thinking about some ideas that you might have to help us stay connected going forward and getting the job done going forward. So first of all, the People's March is coming up this weekend. People's March for Climate, Jobs, and Justice. Saturday, April 29th, 3 to 6. It's at Pear Blossom Park at the Commons, if you know where the Commons is. It's 312 East 4th Street here in Medford. Kathy Conway is right here. She's going to need volunteers. We're going to loan her the orange vests, and she's going to hand them out to her people to do the same thing that our volunteers have done and guide the march and all that kind of stuff. So come and see her and sign up. They need street performers. I don't know, what do you mean, jugglers or street performers? Is that like a guy who lays pavement or what? Oh, you've got the street performers?
No, we still need a few, and we're going to have a Walden, a Wyden, and a Merkley, and then we're going to be asking them some questions visually.
Okay.
Acting out whether they agree or not.
Okay, great. And then drummers. They need drummers too.
What did she say?
Here.
You do it.
Okay, they're going to have a Walden, a Wyden, and a Merkley, and then you're going to act out a skit, and they're going to have to do some improv around it. Sounds like okay, great.
So I need volunteers.
And then drummers, and then she wants some drummers. So hold on a second here. Okay, so that's this Saturday, the 29th. The next thing we have is there's this May 6th retreat, which is kind of confusing to some people. Basically what that retreat is about is to bring leaders from the 32 groups district-wide down here and just connect with them. That's basically what the retreat is all about. And some of you here have signed up for the retreat, and She can't help it. There's no march today, so she's got to get it out. Anyway, we don't know what's going to come out of that, but what we do know is we've been connecting with all these people through Slack and through email and through texts and everything else, and now we're going to be able to meet them face to face and get to know how big their groups are, what they've been doing, how their town halls went. There was a town hall up in Bend that some of you went to. There was an interesting town hall up in Hood River. But anyway, so we'll be able to connect with them, and that will inform us going forward what we need to do, because I do think our next step is to start operating on a district-wide level instead of a local level. So how to do that, I have no idea. We're going to figure it out, but anyway, then coming up Saturday, May 20th, what we decided to do in order to keep this going, because it's almost like those of us in ORD2 Indivisible that come to the rallies at this point, we're like family. I'm probably going to be real emotional by the end of this rally, because this is 100 days where we've showed And anyway, you don't want to see me cry. It's an ugly thing. So we're going to do March 20th. We're going to do a Saturday rally here, and it will probably involve a March, May. What did I say? March? That'd be a year from now. So May 20th, we're going to meet here, and we'll have speakers. We'll have a theme. There'll be a CTA going out about it. And we'll probably develop a monthly Saturday meeting here. So if nothing else, we're going to be doing that. And the main reason for that is so we can stay connected as a group. Because it's so weird. I'm an old guy, and this whole thing of being connected through Facebook is just kind of bizarre to me. This is where I connect. And so a lot of us do. So anyway, it'll be right here. We'll probably have Gail Wilson. I won't be around May 20th, and Gail Wilson, who's out there somewhere. I just saw her right over here somewhere. Hopefully Gail will MC that, and we'll have a couple of great speakers based on whatever who knows what's going to be going on May 20th. It's day to day. I can't even begin to tell you. Well, you know. What's that? I'm sorry. Impeachment. Yeah, that'll be impeachment. Hopefully that's great. Thank you. I feel much better now. Then we got 4th of July parade. We're going to be marching in the parade. We're going to have as many of us as we can in the parade, marching behind our two fearless leaders with all the chants and all that stuff. And we'll also have a booth there, and the booth will be hosted by our outreach team. And Kristen is here from our outreach, and Jenica is here from outreach today, and they want to talk to you a little bit later on.
You got it.
About outreach, so that'll be really cool. And then
what time was that? May 20th.
May 20th.
What time?
I'm going to say noon. We haven't decided yet, but let's just say it's noon. That's what we do, right? Yeah. Noon. So high noon. And then we've got September 8th. Some of you know that I'm doing a tribute to Clapton. I'll push this here, I might as well. Down at the Criterion in a couple of weeks with some amazing musicians. One of them is this guy, Gene Black, who just moved to the area. He's a member of ORD. He might even be out there right now. But, well, let me finish with Gene. My wife always finishes my sentences for me. So, Gene Black was Joe Cocker's guitar player for 19 years. Amazing musician. Anyway, Gene and Brett Levick, our founder, and myself and about 40 musicians are going to be doing a special fundraiser September 8th for ORD2 Indivisible at the Armory. We've already got the place booked. We've got the musicians lined up, and just incredible musicians. Matthew Kreimelman and Greg Fredericks and Dirk Price and Don Harris and all the best musicians in the valley. It's going to be incredible. But I think there's over 40 of them. Ashland Armory. Yeah. And so we'll be pre-selling tickets too, because if we sell a boatload, we want everybody able to come. So if we sell a boatload, we're going to have 2 shows. We'll have one during the daytime and one at night. And it'll be an excuse for us to have a great big party too. We're going to do fundraising there. We're going to do, there'll be little tables for the legal team. There'll be all kinds of stuff going on, and a couple of speakers mixed in with the music. So it'll be an amazing night. So we have some ideas about stuff to do. One is one big general ORD2 Indivisible meeting somewhere. Does that sound like something we should do? And it could be informative. It could be letting you know what we're doing. I try to mix it in with the stuff we're doing, but it can get pretty boring if I stand up here and start talking about bylaws. So, but it might be really informative at some point, maybe a month down the road or 2 months down the road, to have a big giant meeting indoors somewhere, like the Unitarian Church or someplace. What's that? Bigger, like the football stadium. We'll find a big place. You're right. It's got to be bigger. So anyway, that's one idea. Another idea was these huddle groups. A lot of good things have come out of these huddle groups. How many of you have been involved with the huddle groups? What's a huddle group? It came out of the Women's March, is what it came out of, and the people that put the Women's March together. They developed these huddle groups where they just get together, primarily women, but some men too, and they've just connected and talked. And a lot of things have come out of it. Some of the people involved in the huddle groups ended up coming into ORD2 Indivisible, so I don't know. I just threw that in there. Here's those of you that keep coming on our group discussion page, including candidates running against Walden, need to understand something, and I want to say this publicly, is we are a 501c4. We are not a political organization. We can't support a candidate. So I know some of you want us to support a candidate, find a candidate, and all that stuff. We can't. That's not something we can do. It's against the law. But that's not to say that I myself, outside of ORD2, won't be trying to hunt down a candidate and support that candidate, because I'm already doing that on my own. And I know many of Brett Levick is also doing that on his own, meeting with people and talking to people. So if you want to do that, do it. If you find somebody good, do it. If you have an idea to form some kind of organization, like look at the League of Women Voters, how great they've been over the years with locating candidates and establishing debates between the candidates hosted by the League of Women Voters. So if you have an idea of forming a group, great, let's do it. Don't become a 501c4, because you can't. But we needed to become an organization so that we could do banking. That's one reason we needed to fundraise, because we have big plans. Here's some of the plans that we have. We feel like our focus, this segues into what our focus really is. If this guy over here, or gal, is going to run against Walden, it doesn't do any good if Walden's over here still getting 70% of the vote. Doesn't matter how good this candidate is, how great they are in the campaign trail, how smart they are, how much experience they have. As long as Walden is up here at 70%, he's unbeatable. What we have done in the last 100 days, in my opinion, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe some of you agree with me, I think we brought him down to about 60%. I really do. I think we brought him down. He's getting bad press all over the district. He's getting booed at town hall meetings. We shouted him down and said, do your job at the last town hall meeting. And that's happening all over the district. He handles it really well. He's a great politician. But the truth of the matter is he's getting bad press all over the place. Yes. It is not illegal to be against a candidate. And the other thing is, our legal team is pouring through all the information, 501c4 information, to inform us, because we don't know. We have a sense of exactly what we can do, but we don't know exactly what we can say and do. But we are limited, we know, and we don't want to break the rules. We don't want to go where the Tea Party went, which was they got in all kinds of trouble with the IRS. We don't want to do that. We want to play it by the rules, and so far so good. But we need to be better informed by our legal team about the particulars. So back to this idea of what our focus really is. Even at 60%, he's unbeatable. So we have ideas about how to bring him down even more. And one idea is that we collaborate with a bunch of groups. We've been approached by the AFL-CIO to share expenses on television spots. And they're not political spots. They're just telling the truth. Just spots that show how Representative Walden is tied to Trump, and all the negative aspects of his unaffordable health care act that failed would have been. And they're not done yet. They're going to come back with another one, even worse than the last one. But so those television spots become really important, we feel like, because we can reach, you know, I'm telling you all this, you guys know all this. That's the problem with where we're at right now. We're not reaching the voters, that the voters that could be swing voters, that could vote against Walden. So we want to reach those voters. The second thing we can collaborate with groups like AFL-CIO is on and apparently we can get some, what's it called, matching money from Portland if we do that. So we're looking into that too. We have raised, thanks to all of you, we've raised a bunch of money. We've got a bunch of money, but it's peanuts compared to what we would like to have in order to do that. Then that's another reason to connect with all these groups in the district to find out what we can do in the way of billboards in the district. So if we have, like for instance, a billboard that had something to say here might not ring well in Hood River. They have different economic concerns up there. So we need to gather all that information. We have a research team that actually has been gathering that information. Terry Martin is amazing. Over the last 2 months, she's gathered all kinds of data about what affects the whole district. So I'm going to give you a break from all this dry stuff. Then I'm going to come back to you and ask your opinion about where we go from here. But Arlene would like to talk to the troops. Arlene, I do all the talking, Arlene does all the work. This is how it's been.
Okay, so now I get to, can you hear me? Yes. Okay, so I have been the person organizing the volunteers and reaching out to them, and it's been a great privilege and honor, and I wanted to thank all of the volunteers who've helped at the rallies, handing out leaflets, signing people up, collecting cards to give to our members of Congress, and of course, the irreplaceable Orange Vest Squad. And I really want to call them out. I put out the call. I'm sorry?
In a good way.
In a good way. I put out the call and asked for people to come forward and wear those very attractive orange vests and help us keep everybody organized and safe. And it developed into a pretty regular beat for most people. So I want to thank everybody who wore an orange vest, but I want to particularly thank Aurelia Bolin, Karen Young-Lenk, Adrian Duncan, Ron Adams, Diane and Rich DeVita, Kathy Van, Bill Tuck, Joe Curl, Luigi Tananga, Ellen Babin, Janie Burkhart, and Jenica Fay. If I could get a big round of applause for all of them, thank you so much. And one last thing, I'd like to give a special shout out to my partner in crime, Mary Renault. She's helped organize everything up for these events, as well as the Orange Vest Squad. And Karen Burgess behind me, the faithful banner carrier. Every week she puts it together and takes it apart and carries it to lead the troops. So I really wanted to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for helping make... I'm sorry?
And Maury was our...
And Maury. And Maury, our chant leader. Yes. So thanks to all of you, and I'll see you around.
And thank you to Arlene. As soon as these rallies are done, I go home and I'm like, and she says, what are we doing next week? Okay, so questions. Okay. What's happening in the Saturday rally? What? Yeah. I can't hear you, so I'm sorry.
What happened to replacing the Tuesday rallies with Saturday?
We are doing a Saturday rally May 20th. Not every single Saturday, but it's up to you guys. If you're demanding that we do this every Saturday, we're just coming up with stuff. You got to remember, the steering committee is just a couple of people coming up with stuff, and that's why I think it's important to check in with all of you what you want to do. So, are you saying you want to come every Saturday?
Yeah. Coming on Tuesdays.
We should alternate Tuesdays and Saturdays.
Maybe twice a month.
Yeah, I like that.
Twice a month. Something.
So, how many people, I'll do a poll, how many people want to keep Tuesday going? Wow, that's about a third of you, something like that? How many people want to do weekly Saturday rallies?
That's summer.
A little less.
We're talking summer.
What's that?
We're talking about summer.
We're talking about summer.
So Saturday's not good.
Alternate.
Twice a month.
Twice a month. Alternate.
Okay, I'll bring that back to the steering committee that we do
Awesome.
twice a month, but should they be Saturdays or Tuesdays?
Tuesdays.
Alternate.
Alternate.
See, that's a democracy. What's that? Some people can do weekends, so I'll bring that back to the steering committee. Yes.
Okay.
But if we do Tuesday and Saturday, then we can go to the offices on Tuesday and
The cool thing about the reason we're doing Tuesdays is the office is open, and on the weekends it's not open.
So at
yeah.
least once a month we can get there on a Tuesday.
So yeah, exactly. So this makes sense. Good. Who else has an idea? Ideas. Here's an idea. Okay.
How about we give them surprise Tuesdays so they can't mount the troops in the square?
Surprise.
Then they go to Walden's office.
Surprise Tuesdays.
Do we need permits to show up at Walden's office?
No.
Okay. I think that we need a surprise tactic at Walden's office.
Surprise tactic. Okay.
I think we should keep the Tuesdays announced on our website.
That sounds like an idea in progress to me. It sounds like a good idea, but I don't hear it fleshed out. Surprise. Surprise.
Okay.
No, it's a good idea, but yeah.
I don't know if it's an idea, but we have been taking all these pictures during Tuesday rallies.
Come over here. Come over here.
This is number 13. The first one was done by Move On, but and I gave people a little paper with information how to download those pictures for free. If you want to, it's totally voluntary. You can donate money to ORD2. I think going through those rallies, you can play them as slideshows. Reminds you of the energy that we all brought to this, and that gives us so much strength. So after every Tuesday when I go through those pictures, I'm so touched to see all your energy and resolve, and that's what we just have to continue. So
Thank you. By the way, if you have ideas like this gentleman's idea about the Surprise Tuesday, Daja's Action Committee is the place to go with all those hit and run ideas.
I'll give the address.
Yeah. Okay, who's got some more ideas out there? We're on a roll here. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I said it was out of the corner of my eye.
Instead of a surprise Tuesday, how about, there's only like 4 protesters over there. How about some of us just go and join them with our anti-Trump signs and just make it look more like more people protesting?
Yeah, okay, so the idea was that we go over and mingle with the 4 Trump supporters with their 9 flags. The issue is we're trying to be respectful, and so we're really watching what we do there, and they have been respectful to us, to be honest with you. Yeah. Somebody, you had one.
We actually have one from the internet. It's someone voting for alternating Tuesdays and Saturdays twice a month.
Yay!
Once a month they're voting. They're voting.
Twice a month.
Twice a month.
Alternating Tuesdays and Saturdays.
So that's
an idea.
1 Tuesday and 1 Saturday, or 2 Tuesdays?
Is that 1 or 2 Saturdays?
Yeah, okay, got it. Okay, yes.
I'm really anxious to see a billboard because I've seen billboards.
Billboard, yeah.
I think it needs to be where they do that Harry and David thing on Central.
Right. We looked at that one and realized we've got to raise money. And so well, that's right. How to contact the Action Committee.
I'll tell you here in just a second.
She'll tell you in just a second. What's that? You're the one? Action Committee. Okay.
I got it.
All right. When in doubt, you can always ask a question on the group discussion on Facebook. When in doubt, you can just ask a question there, and it'll go to where it needs to go. But you can also go to our website, or you can just listen to what Kristen's going to tell you. Yes.
I'd like to suggest that there's, I would prefer once a month, just because I think you get burned out and the crowds get small. So that's one thing. The second thing is I'd like to suggest a Saturday where everybody's off work and people with kids and we have a massive picnic, like out at Immigrant Way, where ORD2 people just get together.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So what this lady just said was similar to what we were talking about the steering committee, which is just have a big gathering of everybody. But her idea is to have it outdoors, have it like a picnic, and we could do that. We could do it at Ashland Park too, or we could do it at any of the big parks.
Or at the plaza.
Or no, I mean.
Somewhere we can be seen.
Yeah, somewhere we got to hang out.
I think a social event.
I think we're talking about a social event, and I think so. That's an idea I think we'll run with. I think beer. Someone said beer. The beer guys, they've just been waiting. He's been waiting like 7 rallies to go beer.
Where's the beer?
Can I go for a break?
Okay, so Kristen wants to talk to you. Okay, can you get up here?
Totally.
Subpoena Walden to our gathering.
I'll hold this.
I can. Okay. Hey guys. I'm so excited. I'm recovering. I'm halfway through my 3 months. Had a total knee replacement, if you can believe that. So I'm super happy to be out here with you again. As I said before, I miss you, and I don't get to come that often, so it's awesome to see your faces, even on a rainy day. Okay. So I'm here representing Outreach Team, and I want to tell you, I'm really anxious to talk about next steps, and I think I can give you a little bit of meat to sink your teeth into today, okay? What I want to talk about is what things we can do in our community during this time. So I'm also here to say I don't have the answers. I don't have all the answers, but that's okay. And maybe we don't have a full formed vision, but that's okay. I have something that's more important than that. I have faith. Okay? That is really important. because I know that we're going to have successes we haven't dreamed of yet. I know that we have leaders that are going to emerge that we haven't met. That's going to happen. I can tell you that. Okay? I want to tell you something that Abraham Lincoln said. And it's a sign that I carried at the Women's March. And it resonates with me, and it bears on our conversation today. Decide where to plant your feet and then stand firm. Okay? So, it's important for us to think about how to get our feet on the ground. Am I right? Okay. So a couple of great things that ORD2 has done and has always done for us. What they've told us, always, is place your phone calls every single day. That is the backbone of the work that we do. That is how AHCA was taken down. Okay? This is the power that we have. Remember, number one, always must make your phone calls. They've always reminded us of that. Number two is, this is a long haul. Little perspective. You know that November of 2018 is 19 months away. Okay? We've been marching together for 14 weeks. Okay? When we talk about long haul, that's what we mean. So when I say that I have faith, we're going to have to remember that. We're also going to have patience, because what's going to happen in our group is a lot of this. Okay? We're going to have to be patient with ideas as they come up, things that might be able to fly and other things that can't, and that's okay. But it's going to happen. We're going to have small wins. I'm kind of shaking. I'm kind of nervous. So what we're going to need is patience and accommodation. We're going to need creativity and, most of all, initiative. And when I say initiative, I mean your initiative, not ours. I mean you. And I'm going to explain what I mean. But faith is most important of all. I know that we all want it now. I want him impeached. I want Walden gone. But that's a long time into the future. So what can we do in the meantime? Okay? Well, what it is now is the time for the real work to begin. You know, we can bring signs. We can get together every week, and we can march. And I love what that's done for us, because it's really built a sense of energy and community that I think we can build from. But now, let's talk about how to make it more concrete. Okay, and when I say that, this is what I mean. I want you to put your feet on the ground and roll up your sleeves, and I want you to move out of your comfort zones. Every one of you. I want you to think about what you can do and take responsibility. And when I say that, I have things that have happened as examples for you, or ideas even. How many of you belong to a book club or have ever belonged to a book club? Show me your hands. That's a lot of you. Okay, so let me ask you this. In your book club, have you guys ever talked about ballot measures to fund libraries in your book clubs? Because if you haven't, you should. That is a way to put democracy into our everyday work and the fun things that we do. Okay, that is how we get community work done. And that's something that we can do. How many of you are in a gardening club or have ever been in a class for gardening? Okay? Have you guys ever talked about neonicotinoids and how that's toxic in your club? Because right now I'm going to tell you, in the Oregon legislature, SB 929 is something you can call Alan DeBoer about. And you can take initiative and talk to your gardening friends about this. That is how we're going to reach out into the community. Now remember that ORD2, while we cannot back candidates, we're issues based. If we remember that we're issues based and we can talk about issues with our neighbors and our club members, that's how we get this work done. That's how we grow into the community. And this is how we can get concrete stuff done. That realtor professional that I saw up here on the steps last week, she talked about how she wrote a letter that said, guess what? Walden isn't as good for realtors as he says that he is. And she said, I'm going to write a letter that says that. She took that initiative on. Karen Burgess, right here behind me. I want you to know that in February, she decided she would go to Mountain Meadows, which is a retirement community in Ashland. She sat down with a group of people there and had a postcard writing party. She did that. She took it upon herself just to do that. One person. I don't know how many people she sat with and wrote postcards, but you know what the next step for her is? We thought about this in the outreach meeting the other day. What if she went back next time and said, how about if I help you make up a poster that you can't go to the next march, but I'll carry it for you? Right. And those people vote. Yep. Okay, these are things that we can do. Democracy is not an every 4-year activity where you vote and you put a sticker on your chest that says you did it. This is the big challenge. So we need to find the ways that democracy is in our everyday lives and fight for it in our everyday lives and have conversations. So I have 2 things to ask you. Well, here's the thing, I guess. I know that you're going to be looking to ORD2 for leadership. And what I can tell you is that we're going to be there for you. Okay? But here's the deal. You're going to be there for us. And you're going to have ideas. And when you have those ideas, you're going to submit them to action at ORD2Indivisible.org. If you have an idea of something that you want to see, propose it. But I want you to also reach out into your communities. Figure out how you can talk to your book club about these things. I have 2 rules, 2 things that I want to ask you. Do your like I said, do your CTAs every day. I want you to take the initiative to get out into your communities, find groups. If you're not, think about the groups that you're in and the things that affect those groups. And if you're not in a group already, maybe you should join one. Get out into your community. So a few weeks ago, I shared with you why it is that I resist. Every single day that this administration is in power, American lives at home and abroad are at risk. I believe it. So I'm not hopeful about this administration in our White House. What I'm hopeful about is what I see right in front of me today. This is democracy. Let's hear it for democracy. This is democracy. I am seeing engagement like I have never seen in my life. A power that we are taking back that's so important. Communities are coming together to fight for our values. Communities are discovering, again, democracy is not something that happens every 4 years. Democracy needs us right now, and it needs us every day. We have to figure that out, and that's on all of us. So here's what, we have clipboards out here. Jenica, raise your pink clipboard. She's right there. I want you to sign up with her today if you're in a community group, or if you even think you want, I'm telling you, even if you're not, I'm asking you to today. I'm asking you to think of groups. And if you can't think of it today or you don't want to write your name down, please go to the website, get on the volunteer tag, and then hit outreach. Okay, because outreach team is going to be handling this. We're going to figure out how to build bridges and relationships in our communities through other groups and individuals. So that's the clipboard. That's Jenica, also on the outreach team. And then again, Doug talked about that. He's right. The next move is district wide. And we're ready to get bigger. We've built a great foundation, and we need to get bigger. But let's also remember local. We're going to make one-by-one relationships. We might have a conversation with somebody about neonicotinoids, or we might have a conversation about library ballot measures. We will never even know the outcome of that until, or some things that we talk about until November of 2018. And maybe we don't see the results till then. We still have to have that faith that as long as we're doing the hard work, it gets done. So, again, I just want to ask you that decide where to plant your feet and then stand firm. I think I've been clear that I'm putting this back on you. Am I right? Did you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So here's the other thing, and then I'm going to go back to this because this is 2 weeks ago. I think I stood in front of you and I said this. And this is a chant, and I'm going to ask you to join me in it. This is my time. This is my time. This is my time. This is my time. Louder. Louder. This is my time. This is my time. This is my time. This is my time. Thank you guys. I am here for you. But be here for me.
Thank you, Kristen.
That's okay. I just can't.
Kristen.
Kristen.
Okay.
Yes.
Kristen Moline, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
And Kristen has just come on to the steering committee just this week, so she's a great addition. She had to be there because she's just doing so much, and we were always referring back to her about what's going on here, what's going on there. We finally said, come on.
They have no idea what they're...
Yeah, I know.
Oh, tell them about the video. Tell them if they haven't seen that video. Did you know?
What video?
Can I tell them really quick? Sorry.
She's not done.
I am, sorry.
The steering committee meetings are now going to be 4 hours long.
No. Okay, I made a post last night. You guys need to go onto the discussion group and look for, we have photos in a nationwide video that just came out, that Indivisible Sings created, and we have several of our pictures on there, and you'll be so excited to see that. So go to the discussion page and check it out.
Thank you.
It's cool. I've seen it. It's cool.
Okay, so now this would be outside of ORD2 Indivisible, is to support some group that would hold candidate forums. So if there's anybody is out there and going to develop groups seeking candidates, put together debates. We want the best candidate. I mean, we got nothing to lose at this point. I don't want a mediocre guy taking Walton's place. I want someone great, right? All right, okay. What's that? No, not a chance. I looked at Greg Walden standing out in the middle of that basketball court, and I thought, there is no way in hell I would ever do that. First of all, I would have flipped everybody off and then started crying and run out of the room.
That was Walton's plan A.
Uh-oh, this is being filmed. Do not tell your parents I said that. Okay, develop panel discussions and invite issue experts. Jeff Golden had some great ideas to do focus groups, to travel around ORD2 and just meet with people that live there. 10 people from different, a nurse and a carpenter and a lawyer, and put them all in the same group and just gather information about what's important to that area and do that all over. And Jeff actually is a great guy for that because he knows how to do that, so he can teach somebody in that area how to continue to do that. So some topics, it's interesting. I've heard people say, gee, I don't know why there's not many young people at the Tuesday rallies. Well, it's also, we haven't talked about minimum wage at any of these rallies. We haven't talked about college tuition at any of these rallies. So keep in mind that the important thing that Kristen was talking about, it's not just reaching out to like-minded groups like the Climate March people and the Science March people and ACLU and Unite Oregon, all these different groups. We want to reach out to all those groups and have some of them in our group, some of us in their groups. But we also want the face of our community here.
Common ground.
Common ground. I don't know what that means. Beer! Common ground, it probably means something. But anyway, what does it mean?
Common ground.
Fine.
Where these people
Fine.
can
I get it. Yeah.
and talk to.
Right. Okay. So that's why outreach is so important. That if we have this vicious cycle, we're here. Most of us are old white people, and I'm proud of all us old white people for coming out here and doing it. But we're going to deal with the issues we know about, right? And the issue, I don't know about you, but Social Security is pretty damn important to me. So, but if we reach out to our community, to our Hispanic community, to black folks, to young folks, we all of a sudden, they're bringing their concerns and their ideas into the mix. So if what Kristen said is be proactive, let's not wait for, if you're waiting for the steering committee or one of these teams to get the job done, I got news for you. We have so much on our plate and we're doing so much. We are trying to be as transparent to all of you as we can, but at the same time, we need your help. We need your help with ideas. We need you to bring people into ORD2. I think we can get it done. The proof is that we made a commitment to these 100 days, and we did this commitment. We came here Tuesday after Tuesday. I remember one Tuesday was so cold. I had on like 3 sweatshirts, and I was just standing there freezing, and nobody left. Nobody left. The speakers were talking way too much. Nobody left. Nobody left. And then we marched, and I think everybody was ready for the march by that time to get the blood going. So anyway, we're going to wrap it up, and I just want to wrap it up by thanking you all so much. Thank you. We're not done yet. This is step one, and we did it. We came together in the last, think about this, since January 7th. We didn't know what we were doing. We had no clue what we were doing. We showed up over in front of Wyden's office, and we were kind of trying to figure out what we were doing. In these 100 days, we've established this huge organization, and 32 other groups are in this district with us, and we will get Walden out of office. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Give me just a moment.
Okay, you should have told me earlier. I'm sorry. Well, okay. I have a question.
All right, guys, that's about it for today. I'd like to remind everyone to continue to do their call to actions. Put up a thank you on Facebook for the crossing guards. They've done a great job. Shout out to all the veterans and the steering committee and the action committee and the tech committee. You guys are all doing great. This is really a highlight for me personally. I'm looking forward to seeing where we go next, but I'm going to be very bummed come next Tuesday. Anyway, everyone, thank you for watching. Resist.